49ers traded a 2023 sixth-round pick to the Houston Texans for third-year defensive end, 24-year-old Charles Omenihu. Who the heck is Charles? I'm sure that is first and foremost of 49ers minds, 49er fans' minds. He's a fifth-round draft pick from 2019, the 2019 draft out of Texas. So far in his career, 7 career sacks, mostly coming off the bench for Houston. 0 sacks so far this year in 2021, but he does have 3 quarterback hits on the year. A mostly rotational player to this point in his career with the Houston Texans. He was a healthy scratch the last 2 games for Houston. You wonder if there was some discontent going on there that didn't work itself out and led to the trade. Still has 1.5 years remaining on his rookie deal. Obviously, the end of this season and next season as well. The cap hits are going to be the remainder of his salary for this year. Those game checks that he hasn't gotten so far in 2021, scheduled to earn $472,000 this year. The cap hit next year, still manageable. Fourth year of a rookie deal, $965,000 for 2022. Important to call out that if things don't work out in 2021, there's 0 dead cap if he is cut this offseason. He stands 6'5", weighs in at 280 pounds officially, which would put him right in that tweener role, right? Where he can flex inside on passing downs as he did with the Texans. Outside on early downs, defensive end, flexing inside to rush from the interior as a tackle on those obvious passing situations. According to Pro Football Focus, Charles has 16 quarterback pressures on 115 pass rush snaps in the 2021 season. So this year, 16 quarterback pressures on 115 pass rush snaps. Coming out in PFF system at a 80.3 pass rush grade for this season. Again, healthy scratch the last 2 games. But that PFF grade, take it with a grain of salt, however you feel about PFF grades. It certainly leaves it open to interpretation. But that grade would put him behind only Nick Bosa for the 49ers this season. So the question becomes, why make this trade? Why did the 49ers do it? It seems like a low-risk, potentially high-reward move. Low risk in that you're only giving up a future 6th-rounder. If you were giving up a 2022 draft pick, it would basically be the equivalent of giving up a 7th-rounder this year, but instead it's a 6th-rounder the following year. Potentially high reward in that it is a young player who plays a position of value. And originally a 5th-round draft pick, we know what the 49ers have been able to do with those 5th-rounders. Matt Barrows points out that, it is, in fact, not a great 10-yard split time for the young gentleman, Charles, here, that he actually ran a 1.71, very average 10-yard split time at the NFL Combine. That's actually something that the Coach Kocurek believes in and tends to search out in candidates that he's bringing in to coach up. But the 49ers have shown themselves to be adept at coaching up D linemen. So this is a young, potentially talented individual that the 49ers can coach up. Low risk in that they gave up very little to acquire him. Potentially high reward if he turns out to bear fruit. My instant reaction is that this isn't the move I was looking for. It's not the move I would have expected. Defensive end, not really a position of need on the team as I think of it, but this move leads me to believe the Niners believe that it is, but I'm good with the move. It doesn't excite me, but it's a logical move. He's under contract through next year on a rookie deal. It fills a roster spot on the cheap. The 49ers absolutely need to fill cheap roster spots for 2022. So that's good. It wasn't a one-year Band-Aid. And he has physical talents that could potentially be coached up under our phenomenal D-line coach, Chris Kocurek. My worries? He's 24 years old, and a rebuilding Texans team didn't think he added value. And that's coming from someone, he was born and raised in Houston, no less. They don't see him as a fit going forward on a team that obviously needs a lot of help at a lot of positions and is actively rebuilding. Another concern, he's been a healthy scratch for the last 2 weeks. Is he a malcontent? Are they upset with him for some reason? Will that come into play in the 49ers locker room if things get tough, which they could toward the end of this season? He doesn't have the get off that we would typically look for within Chris Koceric's system. Not a great 10-yard split time. And I would question, was this a real position of need? I would have been much happier with a pure defensive tackle that also was about this level, young player, talent, because the 49ers do look to appear to struggle against the rush attack at this point in time. Does it move the needle? I wouldn't think so. Not in my humble opinion. This is a depth piece that could come into play with injuries, but it's hard to imagine it making any real difference in the win or loss column. It gives us something to talk about today. That's fantastic news. Always like to break down 49ers updates. But basically, the 49ers stayed put today, as I would have expected, as I predicted, made a very small fringe move and did add some depth with Kinlaw done for the season. Maurice Hurst is expected to continue to miss some time with his calf injury. And he does bring some flexibility with his ability to move inside to defensive tackle on passing downs.